I don't even know how to phrase it. I think your instincts are even sharper than you know. There are some gifted with foresight, and there are some who neglect that gift.
You need to show me that you can work around each other's weaknesses.
What did you have in mind exactly?
I guess we could call it a sort of like a game.
Whenever you go out in a blaze, you go out in a blaze of glory and style. Wouldn't they want to protect a lady?
I mean, that they're not chivalrous enough for that.
Hey guys, he's over there.
Shut up, woman. No, he's not.
I'm throwing a water bomb at Finavir.
That's the taste of defeat, Finavir.
Actually, that's the taste of pig guts. I didn't wash those out.
Pig guts and defeat taste very similar.
Gonna take more than wish tea to wash that out.
If we do this again, I'm not getting bombed again.
In a life or death situation, you have to rely on the party to at least back you up. And if you can't trust them now to have your back, then don't expect any different when your life is actually on the line. Hi guys, welcome back to this week's episode of the Gate Chronicles, Season 1, Episode 12. I'm your host and game master for today. My name is Snow. I am known as Emily. That is my actual name, but everyone knows me as Snow. And so we're going to go around our table and introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Quentin, a player in this podcast, and I play
Charles Smoot, 56-year-old biology teacher, born and raised in New York, just trying to find out what's going on in this world and get back to his family.
I thought you were 57.
No, I said 56.
It's changed.
It really hasn't. It's been 56 the entire time.
Dang, I thought 57. Okay, sorry.
No.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'll be playing Alfred Kenneth Mest. We'll be going out into the woods to hopefully not die. We're probably going to die.
Hi, I'm Jaden, and I'll be playing Finavir, the bard that's accompanying all these people on this very scary mission.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I'll be playing Alan Taylor, the countryman who's about to show all these yuppies how to go camping.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. All right, so guys, last time on the Gate Chronicles, you all had your training sessions, and you leveled up. Woo-woo. So we are all level 2 now. Yay! Woo-woo. And, well, I have some news for you guys.
Good news?
Ooh.
Maybe not
We're not dying.
Maybe not so much, but we're going to start the way that all things should start.
With rain?
That's right. It's still raining.
It's been raining this is the second day.
I remember now.
Yep.
No?
This is the third day. It rained in the evening, and then we trained for a day in the rain.
That's true.
And now this is the morning after.
So yes, that news that I had for you guys, it's still raining. The droning trickle of rain against the canopy of trees drip and fall from the leaves in larger droplets onto the hoods of your cloaks. Trekking through the wet landscape has been both tiring and somewhat sobering, and of course, a little chilling. The cloaks have held up surprisingly well for the amount of water they have staved off. However, the pungent odor you notice shortly after departing from Ashby seems to grow stronger the longer you stay in the rain. And while that is mildly unsettling, the echo of foreign screeches and growls in the forest keep you on edge, and Amali continues to lead you through the forest.
I really felt like I could hear the wild animals in the background.
Is the smell of dog the pungent odor you were referring to?
You can actually, if you'd like to, you can make a knowledge nature check to figure out what that smell is.
Sure.
Ooh, 16.
Okay.
It's probably the cloaks that we're wearing.
26.
So Alan, Alfred, and Smoot, you guys are able to figure out that it's most definitely coming from the cloaks that you're wearing. The wetter they get, the more water they absorb, but also it just causes this foul odor to rise up. And in a way, it kind of reminds you of the scent of wet dog. And Alfred, you're able to figure out that it's actually wool, and then it's probably the lanolin from the wool that's causing the smell to be so bad.
Gosh.
Plebeian's note, what is lanolin?
Lanolin is a type of like oil that comes from the skin or like the skin of sheep.
Is it the skin oil that soothes cuts and nicks?
Yes, but it's also the stuff that keeps things waterproof. It's what keeps animals, like the wool, to be waterproof for the most part. So, all of you can make a perception check for me really quick as well.
12.
Oh, that's right. I have a +1 now. 15.
20.
13.
So everybody, you all notice that you guys have been traveling for hours now. You're really not sure how much time has passed. It's really just been a complete just trudge through mud and rain, and it's just not been very good. But for the past 20 minutes, you notice that you've been heading uphill, and that around you, you're starting to see the trees are starting to get a little bit thicker in diameter. You're also seeing that there's lots of ferns and leafy plants growing where you would assume where the light would probably reach relatively easily, but they're more sparse than they were when you were like earlier on a few hours. And also the trunk of the bark on the tree trunks is also, maybe it's from the rain, but a little darker. For Alfred and Alan, you guys notice that as you're walking up the side of like this hill, and it's starting to go into like a rocky sort of slope and almost like a cliff, you look off to the side and you see that a part of it kind of slants inward, as if there might be some sort of a cave or something underneath of it. That's where I'm going to leave you guys.
Hey, y'all, look over here and walk over to investigate this indentation.
Okay, so
how long have we been traveling at this point?
It's probably been... You're getting close to the 8-hour point.
It feels like many hours.
It's many hours, but...
She did say it was difficult to tell.
It's getting towards the evening.
Roll a survival for me really quick.
16.
You would assume that you're getting into late afternoon towards the evening, but it's probably around a little bit earlier than dusk.
Amali, should we make shelter? It looks like that's a cave.
That's why I'm having us head uphill. We don't want to get soaked. I mean, kind of
Right,
too
kinda
late.
already are.
Yeah.
At least in the cave, we'd be able to dry out our cloaks.
What cave?
Whatever he found.
Oh, all right. So you want to go take a look at that?
I mean, it'd be hopefully drier than out here.
Please, it's cold.
Watch out for bears.
Y'all coming?
Amali's going over to the cave, or to the side of this hill. You actually have to go back down a little bit and arc around where you were down to the side of it.
I'll keep towards the back of the pack.
Doubt we'll have any luck finding any dry timber to start a fire with.
Really?
Unless you packed any.
You don't go out in the woods much, I can tell.
Oh, actually, almost every day.
Then you can roll a survival check for that. And Alan, you can also roll a survival check.
19. 20.
Even though you've said that, Smoot, it does dawn on you, like, wait a second, that you could actually probably go and find some old, like, if you find, like, old tree branches or something along that line, you could actually probably split it down the center and find dry wood, making, like, tinder and whatnot.
At the very least, it'll dry out quickly if we split it up.
If we shave off the bark, that probably has absorbed most of the water. If we can get to the center of it, we can at least get some peelings to start something.
If we have trouble getting it started with the matches and tinder boxes, I do have that lighter.
Don't want to use that too much, but as a last resort, it's always an option.
So Kelsey goes in, and you all have gone inside the cave, I'm assuming?
I would have tried to pick up some of those tree branches and maybe drag one or two in with me.
Okay, sure. So you go pick up some tree branches. Kelsey's inside the cave. She leans up against the wall, and she slides down it, holding both of her hands and rubbing them to warm up.
I'd like to perception check the cave.
Sure.
And I'd like to snoop around the cave as well, but I'm also specifically looking for where might be the most comfortable or advantageous spot and claim it early.
23.
8.
So it appears to be a very shallow cave. There is nothing in here that looks like it's been, like, no animal marks or anything like that, no foul odors. It's very dry, thankfully, except for the front entrance of the cave, where there is some water that is coming from the top of the hill down and sweeping into the side of the cave up against the far bottom wall, which would be the far left wall, I suppose. And beyond that, it looks like everything is rather smooth. There's a few rocks that would probably be good to sit things on top of, but overall the area looks to be very smooth and nothing, you don't really have to do much to clean up the spot.
I'm going to find a dry spot off to the side and set down my alchemical kit. Finally. Just, good grief. We've been walking all day, it feels like.
It's good for the body. Exercise.
I think this is more than just exercise. This is like marine training, honestly.
Torture? I'd go with torture.
I agree, torture.
Like, My merchant self, who is regularly ready to carry this heavy pack, who's been carrying lightweight all day, is like, what?
And meanwhile, Amali just looks at you both and he just says,
You guys didn't have to come along if you didn't want to.
Outside looking for wood, Alan's going to look over at Smoot. You ever go backpacking?
All the time. I actually live near the Appalachian Mountains. One of my favorite things to do was actually to take all of my biology students out to a local wildlife reserve.
Mom and Pa used to like to take me and some of my cousins up to the Appalachians and go backpacking every now and then. Ma wasn't too much for it, but Pa, he loved it.
It's nice to be surrounded by nature, kind of get away from everything. Though, who knows? With the way things are going, we might get a disdain for it after a little while, not having anything to return to.
Amali comes out as you guys are talking, and he walks over.
You need any help?
How much were we able to collect as far as lumber goes?
Roll a d12 for me.
Both of us?
Yeah.
7.
8.
Okay, so you both have that many pieces of wood. You're not sure if it's going to be usable or not, but you did find some, like, dead trees where you just broke the branches off. They came off relatively easily, and you see that the surface is wet, the inside seems a little dry.
We may want to find a little more to maybe some heavier pieces, less dead wood. Set it by the fire so it can dry off.
All
with
right.
the heat.
That sounds good. We're not going to be going any further today.
Didn't figure.
Yeah, too much rain, and looks like Alfred and Kelsey are getting tired.
Yeah, they've been dragging their feet almost for the past 2 hours.
Well, we've been moving rather slow. Looks like Mask just got too much to carry.
If it's becoming too much of a problem for him, I can probably carry his pack, no problem.
It's probably a good idea.
I might be able to take Kelsey's, get some weight off her feet, maybe put a little bit more pep in her step.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can actually get to this place
How
soon.
far out do you think we are?
Few days? More than a week?
Hopefully not.
From finding them, or do you mean how far we're from Ashby?
Finding where we're going.
If we keep going at this speed, might take about 4 days.
So best case scenario, we're probably going to have to go hunting at some point.
Maybe, and
Aside from our mission.
yeah, well, here's the other thing. If the weather picks up, we might be able to push through for a longer, not extravaganza,
Excursion?
for a longer excursion, if the weather's clear. Otherwise, there's no way. They'll all collapse before we even get there.
Finn seems like he's capable enough.
I'm not worried about Finn. Worried about the aforementioned two.
Also, Smoot's going to go and buy a couple of trees, just make slight notches in the sides of them, just kind of noting that he was in this area.
Okay.
We would gather some larger chunks of firewood and then make our way back into the cave to try and start something to warm ourselves up.
All right, that sounds good. That's fine. You guys come back inside carrying the firewood, and you prepare it, I assume?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd shave off some of the more wet bark, try and get some scraps.
What's your survival score?
My survival score is a 9.
You have 9 into survival. Okay, you're going to make the base roll, and I'll roll for aid another.
Okay.
Okay.
How is it 9?
I dumped almost all of my traits and feats just for survival and knowledge nature.
Oh,
Yeah,
All of it.
yeah, that would do it.
He's a biology teacher.
This man was literally made with backstory to go backpacking.
You guys can roll your survival on that.
Here, I'll hand him my personal dagger, which is always kept maintained.
I will gladly use this.
It's oiled and sharpened.
This seems well maintained. Do you have a whetstone or anything to sharpen it with?
I have 4.
Here, and
I'll give you his. What? I have an army knife.
Oh, okay.
This is what I'd been using to hack at the trees, so he figured it would
great.
probably be dull. Here,
So
you-
I'll sit in the corner and work on this piece for a while.
Yeah, Finavir, you're handed a very strange looking knife. You've not seen anything like this, where part of the blade is actually almost etched out. On, like, there's the sharp end of the blade, and then there's like the serrated part
Oh,
towards
gosh.
the back of it.
I won't touch the serrated part.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about that.
So yeah, I'd hand you that to maintenance, and then I would work on the campfire. I had a 21 base survival roll in order to start this obnoxious piece of work with the wet wood.
and I rolled a 15 for aiding another.
Smoot goes and he takes the knife that Finavir handed him, and he takes another piece of wood. He stands upright one of the branches that he brought with him, and he places the knife on there, and he uses the other branch to basically hammer it in and split down the center of this wood. It goes through and you're able to find really nice dry pieces and you have to shave off all the extras. You've made yourself some extra tinder and some wood that you can burn. Everything else on top, you'll have, hopefully it dries. So you guys start the fire. The place heats up relatively quickly and you all feel very comfortable finally drying off. Kelsey takes off her cloak and spreads it against one of the far side of the walls, hoping that it dries.
I'm actually going to go back outside without the cloak for a second. Or
Okay.
actually, if I'm going to go out without the cloak, I'll remove the cloak and my shirt to not get things more soaked. But I'm going to go grab some longer branches to stand up against the cave wall to act as coat hangers so that all of the cloaks can be hung against the wall to be dried by the fire more efficiently.
Okay, so you go and you do that, and you do find some good material to make this rack for yourself and for everyone else. It takes you a little bit to get it set up, though. Amali pulls out the map, and he appears to be making a few marks on it. But unless there's anything else anyone wanted to do for the evening, I'm going to make the day pass.
Dry my cloak, eat some rations, try and find a comfortable rock to rest my head on. Using the bedroll, not actually using a rock.
Your map has been updated.
Would I see him pull out his map and try and update it?
Yes, I said that you guys see him
I
doing
would
that.
just look at it and say, so, where are we headed? And I would point to the map.
He looks at you as you point, looks back down at the map, and he says,
I'm hoping that we find them nearby in the river. Especially with this rain, it'll be great for areas that flood. Probably bring them closer to land. They love water and swampy regions. So
All right.
I'm hopeful that we find them.
If the weather turns more fair, it looks like we should be able to make it in a day, two at most. So that's hopeful, at least.
Yeah, more than likely too.
At the rate they're going, yeah.
Well, anyway, it's time to rest up. Get yourself ready. Yeah.
On a quick side note, have you ever tried their meat? Is it worth eating?
No, I don't. I've never really gone out to hunt one of these things because they're dangerous.
Fair.
Dangerous things normally taste good.
While we were exploring, if it was possible, Smoot would keep an eye out for either the yarrow or the juniper, which he is aware of what it looks like.
okay, that would be a survival.
Going to be a total of 20.
You were able to find 6 of the juniper and 5 of the yarrow. But that did cut back on how much time you guys had to travel. It's one of the reasons why you've been slowed down. So going and foraging will cost you time doing that.
What do we move at half paced?
Yes, you move half speed.
Are we still able to get one of these hexes done in a day, though?
As long as you went the 8 hours.
Yeah. I would urge everyone at least to go for the 8 hours. Would have been done during the previous day that we just explored.
I got that. I shall continue. All right, so even more good news. Well,
We're
the
not
morning
dead yet?
continues with rain, but this time it's not just regular rain. There's a storm. You hear thunder and lightning, and it does enter the cave. It wets your cloaks a little bit. The fire is out. This goes on for about an hour in the morning, like early morning hours when you guys wake up.
Who kept watch?
Who kept watch?
Apparently no one.
Nobody said anyone
was
kept
asleep.
watch.
I was waiting.
Amali would have kept watch, if anything, and then, the
Okay.
usual. So there's severe wind and thunderstorms for 1 hour when you guys wake up in the morning, and that is what wakes you all up from your sleep. It's a lovely morning in the day.
Whoa, Nelly.
Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening.
Well, Amali, there goes our hopes of the weather becoming more fair.
Does Mess do anything?
Do I have anything to do?
You could prepare extracts. You can...
As far as extracts go, I can prepare them within a round.
No, that's bombs. You can only repair... You
No, it only
Extract takes a minute.
Yes.
Extracts take a minute.
I think
Extracts definitely take longer to prepare than bombs. Bombs can be prepared on demand because the whole point of bombs is that you mix together volatile chemicals to instantaneously make a volatile reaction that is non-sustainable.
for alchemists and their extracts, it works. If you're just going to yada yada it, the same way as wizards and with their spells. You just take an hour out of your morning and you say all of your extracts are prepared.
Oh, hey, look at that. We have an hour to waste. Does Finavir have soap? Nope. I actually had left it behind. Drat. Soap is for when you want to be businessy, and I didn't have a lot. All right, well, Alan's gonna get down to his skivvies, go outside, and take a shower.
Kelsey
In the
just
rain.
covers her eyes as you
He will
walk by.
warn Kelsey.
She just covers her eyes still as you walk by.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to turn around. I'm going to run outside and take a shower real quick.
Just go to the corner. Just go, out of sight. It's not hard. We have cone vision because we're in a cave.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go out with my clothes with me because then they'll get soaked and I want to come back to dry clothes.
All right. So, Zach, are your extracts equivalent to the spells that you told me the other day, like True Strike, Endure Elements, Crafter's Fortune?
Do I have the resources for them?
So I'll tell you what your character thinks he could do to make them. For True Strike, your character thinks that perhaps, based on what you've seen going on with Finavir's character, perhaps there is an exchange value that needs to be made to make things happen. For True Strike, for example, you might need a feather from a predatory bird, Endure Elements, a spicy food item, and a cold food item. Crafter's Fortune, a small piece of material from the desired craft type, and Bomber's Eye, some form of caffeine.
Bomber's Eye is just hyper distilled coffee.
Like you're just taking shots of espresso.
So I would like to actually get my knife back from Smoot. I'm very attached.
Sure, if you walk up to him.
Sure. Trade. And he's like,
I hope you didn't hack up mine as much as you did your own. Listen, there's a certain charm to maintenance. You feel professional. It's one of my tenets to keep things maintained. So I guess it would bother my character more.
I mean, I used to just use my knife till it was dull, hollow grind it on a belt sander.
Do I know what a belt sander is?
probably not.
No.
All right.
What?
It's a machine that has paper that's very coarse and rough and made with like sand on it. It's like paper with sand glued to it, and the machine spins the paper really, really fast so that when you put stuff on it, it grinds it down, kind of like a whetstone, but really fast.
Amali makes eye contact with you, Finn, shrugs his shoulders, and shakes his head.
Wondrous tool.
Americans.
You say that with disgust, but I wear it with pride.
We know.
Anyways, here's your knife back, Finn. Were you able to, seeing as it is a pride of yours, maintenance my knife any?
I was able to get the flat edge, but I'm unfamiliar with this bumpy bit.
It's serrated. It's better for cutting things.
I think I'd need a better tool than what I have for that.
Doesn't usually need to be maintenanced.
Normally it's just for gripping and sawing through tougher bits, but
I did clean it and oil it, though, so there's that.
it's much appreciated.
Okay, so Zach, would your character prepare any extracts?
At the very least, you can do the Cure Light Wounds ones. I don't think he has much of the materials for anything else.
Because you can make 2 extracts per day. Your kit has basically it's a starting kit. It has like the basic necessities to make certain spells. That's where you got your ideas from. You're like, oh look, a bird feather. Oh look, why is there paprika in here? Also, like Crafter's Fortune, your character can pick that up on the fly. Somebody wants to make a metal item? Here, give me that screw.
Or some scraps of metal or something. Anything.
Caffeine.
Like
Guess whose character carries around coffee beans?
Yeah, I do.
I don't have anything worth making at the moment through extract. Because if I make it and don't use it, I've wasted the resources.
Well, there is, if we know we're about to get into, if we're tracking the beasts.
Yes, I can just wait till we're at that point.
Yeah. So then we're good. But right before we engage in combat, you can make like 1 or 2 extracts of Bomber's Eye with 2 coffee beans, and we'll be good. That's really what your extracts are for. It takes a little
bit of forethought.
It takes time to set up the equipment, though. That's the other thing. That's why most people prepare their extracts in the morning. That is the one thing you have to, as a caveat, it takes you a minute to make, but it takes your character time to set up, too.
So let's do it a day without and see if it makes a difference, and then we'll know for the next day.
So we're going to move on so we can do some stuff. So, Zach, I'll take that as your character does not prepare any extracts.
I did not make anything. Don't have anything to make that's actually important.
Okay.
We already have Cure Light Wounds potions because he's been taking a lot of time.
The moment the storm passes, Amali has you guys pack up your things and you all head back out into the forest. Albeit a bit slower than before due to the surplus of mud and slippery surfaces. And after several hours of stumbling through the forest, you guys stumble upon a small clearing.
Well, at least the weather's more fair now.
Ah, would you look at that? Puts a smile on your face and a pep in your step.
So let me have you all roll some perception checks for me really quick.
What was that?
It's a good question.
Oh, yes.
24.
Are we rolling perception, did you say? Yeah.
Perception, please.
18 for Smoot. 11 for Taylor.
20 for Finavir.
As you guys enter into this clearing, you see that there is a natural dirt path that bifurcates near the center of the clearing around a hill that has a cliff face at the front of it, and towards the back, it appears to have a more gentle slope. The cliff itself appears to be about 12 feet high, with large trees spaced out on top of it and large roots pushing out from the dirt sides. You can barely see the top of it to make out what's up there beyond a large bush that wraps around the northern-western side of the cliff and another bush further down on the southern side. Kelsey finally speaks up and she just says, This looks like a great place to take a break. I don't know about you guys, but I need to use the restroom.
By the way, ma'am, are you all right carrying that pack the whole time? Because I can carry a good deal more.
Yeah, I got it. It's a little different than what I'm used to, but I'm not having a difficult time.
Are you certain? Because it is literally no skin off on my back to carry it for you.
Well, if you want to hold it right now, that would be fine. I actually need to go to the bathroom really bad, and she's starting to cross her legs.
I will take the pack from her.
Okay. What is your marching order, guys, when you come in?
Well, I know what my instinct would be, but it's probably faux pas.
I would probably trail close to behind because I would assume... Or actually, no. I would be opposite of whatever Smoot's doing, probably.
I would be leading up behind after Kelsey, making sure that Kelsey and Mest are keeping track of everyone else.
I'd probably be up towards the front ahead of well, not ahead of Amali, but right behind him.
I would probably be side by side with Amali because I like being around him. I do like the idea of running straight up a hill, but if it's like literally too steep and it's rain, then maybe not.
It's not really a hill. It's more like a sharp cliff edge. So it would be hard to climb up it. There are some roots hanging out. Kelsey starts to head off. Amali just says,
Fine, we can take a break here.
I would stop her. I'm still paranoid from the last time I went out with an adventuring group.
Finavir, you can't stop a lady from going to the bathroom.
I know, but if anyone's separated from the group, I yoink a whistle from my neck. They should at least take one of these, even if it's for a moment. Please.
She takes it from you. Okay. I was just gonna... Okay. Yeah. I'll be back. So she heads off to the left of you guys, behind a bush. Where do you guys go? Amali just says,
We'd be able to see pretty much everything from up there. If you guys want to take a break, we could eat up there, so nothing can really sneak up on us.
I would want to get up on top of the hill anyway, so yeah. That sounds great.
Sounds good.
All right.
If I went around, does it look like I could run up it instead of climb?
All the way towards the back, it looks like there's a slope up. But for you guys, I also wanted to mention that you see lots of flowers in the area. You actually see off to the left of this hill, there is a very large reddish-orange flower that you see. And this catches Alfred's attention. It looks very interesting. Probably could be experimented on.
All right, I'll go investigate it.
Okay.
Smoot would maneuver to follow, but so if Mest is going all the way over there, right, to go explore it, he would stand in between so he can still see Mest, but it's still an earshot of Kelsey, not going up the hill, but staying down by the space level. Make sure no one gets left behind.
Amali points to the right side of the hill and he says,
There's a slope back there that you can walk up. You don't have to climb it.
I'll book it.
Amali goes after as well.
You guys head on up. I'll make sure any stragglers don't get left behind.
I will follow them then.
So, Alfred, you get closer to this flower. Please roll a perception check for me.
10.
A 10? Oh boy. A strong and foul odor wafts into your nostrils. It smells like something died over here.
Hold on.
All right.
I'm trying to get my voice. Why? No, not why. Not why. It's not why. Oh, that smells right.
Yeah, it smells really rancid. Actually, also, Smoot, where are you going to?
I'm standing in between where he is and where I last saw Kelsey dip behind a bush, just so if anyone needed my assistance, I could run either direction.
A few moments later, Kelsey comes out from the bush. Where's everybody gone?
Everyone else headed up the cliffside. They found a slope over on the right-hand side, but Mess seemed intrigued by these flowers over here, so I was just kind of hanging out to make sure none of you got left behind.
Oh, well, there are some berries on this bush over here.
I can help you check them out, see if maybe they're edible. Who knows?
She also points further down, closer to where Mest is as well, and she says, looks like there's some on that bush too.
Well, let's head over towards Mest's way. If there's some more over there, too, we can see what he's looking at. Mest!
Okay, so you guys start moving, making your way over there. Both of you can, yeah, perfect. Both of you. Kelsey, you're a real person now. You and Kelsey both get hit by the smell as well.
Oh, Mest, what'd you do over here? Did you fart? You pass wind?
I'm going to assume it was your fault if it did happen.
Oh, okay.
Like, can I make
smelt it?
Wait, it was Smoot's fault that you farted. If you did indeed fart.
No, he smells a fart. He was asking if I did it. I said I'm going to assume it was you.
Whoever smelt it, dealt it.
Exactly.
Can I survival or nature on both the flower and the berries to get the properties of either of them? Berries to see if they're edible, and
Which
flowers.
one first?
Let's just do berries first.
Okay, so you go over to the berry bush.
Yep. Nature, is it?
Yeah, knowledge nature. You guys make your way up the hill.
26.
They check off all the right boxes for edibility. They are bright pink in color. They look more like blackberries, except they're bright pink.
Okay.
I'd say, hey, Kelsey, these look good. Go ahead and pick a few.
Okay.
So me and her would take some time to pick some berries for everyone.
All right, so you pick some berries. What does Mess do?
I'm investigating the plant.
So please roll a knowledge nature for me.
21.
As you're looking at the plant, you do realize that it looks like it is one of those Rafflesia, or also known as the stinking corpse lily. What the weird thing to you, though, is that you know that these plants don't grow in temperate forests, or at least they didn't. They grow in more of the tropical regions, which is a little strange to you. Fun fact, it is the state flower of Indonesia. That is their state flower.
Someone decided to have a stinking, rotting corpse plant that's parasitic as their state flower?
I mean, from what I remember, visually they look very nice.
It does have a parasitic nature where it actually takes nutrients from host plants. Oh, yeah. And they usually, the terrible smell is used to attract flies in order to pollinate other species of the flower, even though the strange thing is that they are typically singular and they don't grow anywhere near other ones.
That's super strange. So as I sit up atop the hill, I'll take a deep breath and I'll take out a piece of paper and a pen out of my artisan kit, and I'll just start sketching anything.
All right, so I love that you took a deep breath. That's hilarious, because you take a deep breath and you are hit by that foul odor as well.
Oh,
There's one up top.
gosh.
Oh, God. Finn, was that you?
No, not this time.
Oh, it's like those beans you had the other day, but worse.
Anytime I have spicy sausage. Anyway, I'm going to take out a rag and some fishing wire. I'll thread that through the rag and put that over my face, and I'll put a pinch of my scent cloak on the rag. It masks smell really well.
Okay. So
Like normally it would add a fairly large against something to be able to smell your scent.
Alan Taylor, you also are getting hit by this smell, by the way.
Should I roll a fortitude save?
Sure, I haven't had anyone else do it, but you can roll a fortitude save.
Ooh, and that is particularly low. That's an 8.
Ooh, you gag. Yeah, you feel like you're about to vomit.
All right. Who didn't shower? Y'all smell rank.
Once I get the mask together, I would like to sit down and just sketch anything that catches my eye. If the only interesting is them down with the flower, that could be that, but
Okay, yeah, there's the flower. Where do you sit for that? All
right
the way
at
over
the
there?
end of the hill.
Okay. It's a very
across it.
nice spot up top, very quaint. You can see, though, all of you make a perception check up top.
19.
21.
Hey, guys, look at this.
And you both come over and you see on the ground there appears to be several tracks, like paw print tracks, just all around up top here.
That's weird.
Can I try to discern what type creature this might be with my knowledge?
That would be knowledge nature.
This is about as best I can muster. Let's see what that comes out to be. That comes up to a 25.
Okay. They look a little bit like wolf tracks, but a little bit bigger.
Ooh, really big doggos.
And also, the claws kind of stick out a little bit more, too.
Might be a wolf, the best I can guess. Big ones at that. Good grief.
So, back down below, Alfred, Smoot, and Kelsey. So you guys are picking the bushes from these berries. Whoa, berries from these bushes. Ha ha ha. Alfred, do you actually get any closer to the plant or nah?
Yeah, I would step closer to it.
How close?
Probably close enough that I could take out my knife and poke at it a little bit.
Okay. As you're poking at it, Kelsey starts walking over, checking out what you're doing.
I would follow up behind if they're all moving that way, just to make sure that they're all safe.
Okay. So you start poking at it, and as you do, you feel your knife clink against something. It doesn't sound like metal, though.
So does it sound like a stone or?
A little bit, but a little lighter.
Can I roll a perception just to see if I can hear that noise?
I'm going to go to grab one of the petals and lift it up.
Got a 16 perception for Smooth.
You do hear the little click sound of his knife against something as he's poking through. Alfred, as you reach your hand in to basically pick up one of the petals, you need to roll a reflex for me.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, indeed.
No.
9.
All right. So
there's the battle music.
There it is.
There's the battle music.
All right. So you guys up top, can you roll a perception check for me really quick?
3!
And 12 for what I rolled.
I was going to ask if the knife hit bone, and seeing as this thing might be alive, might have the bone of a dead corpse. Might
All
be
right.
a dead mest in a few seconds. Who knows? Hopefully not.
So here's the deal. And this is what happens.
Never start a sentence like that.
I'm dead, aren't I?
You're also paralyzed now.
If it's poisonous, I get to make a saving throw.
That is true, and you do have a +2 for that with poison resistance now.
Do me a favor and all of you roll for initiative. Everyone.
Everyone?
12.
14.
13 for
12.
Finavir. 12 for Mest.
Oh, Dad look like a big boy, though. I don't like that. No. That looks a little bigger than I'm comfortable with.
Jeez, Kelsey, calm down, woman.
No, Kelsey, save Mest. Don't calm down.
She has no calm. 100%
just-
maximum no chill.
I'm just assuming I failed whatever reflex save I was supposed to be making.
More than likely.
Oh, who knows?
Oh, yeah, I know you failed that.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a slow, dumb creature.
it's a plant.
Plants are all dumb because they can't talk.
True. That is true.
Literal.
That's not true. Mandrakes can talk.
They scream.
Alfred, the moment that you reach your hand towards the plant and you make contact with it and lift up the leaf, a whip-like object shoots out and it wraps around your body and it grapples you. You are being entangled right now, really is the real term. And this strange creature sort of arises from within these vines that are surrounding it. You see bones being uncovered as it rises up. You also see 2 of the Rafflesias, or what you thought were Rafflesias. They rise up from the ground as well. They appear to be almost like lions, but they have these flower manes and they roar at you.
Quick question. When this says you take a -4 to dexterity, does that mean the modifier?
No. Score.
The score?
Yeah. So it'll be a -2 to your mod, as long as you're entangled. Me and Kelsey are going to get to go before you, so hopefully we'll be able to get
Yeah.
you out.
All right, so I hope you guys have fun. This should be an interesting encounter. FYI, you guys up top cannot reach it because the cliff is 12 feet high with a downward slope, a very gradual
What if
downward
Finavir
slope.
used he has a bow. Could he ranged attack at
Yes,
it?
he can do a range attack with that, but you are 12 feet up in the air. Just an FYI on that. Yeah, and technically it would have, unless you get closer, it has concealment
Real
From
quick.
the cliff or Mest?
from the cliff.
You said there's a Rafflesia up on the cliff as well. Did that turn into a lion or no?
No.
Okay, interesting. They're just using them as camouflage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like a symbiotic relationship. Ooh, interesting.
I kill something and bring it to you. That way you can eat it while I eat it. And you can have its leftovers.
Maybe that's the smell of dead corpse.
Probably is.
Probably dead corpse.
Nothing like a good smell of dead corpse in the morning.
Redundancy.
Yes, well, speaking of which, you see that on top where you guys are, you see the vines shrink back from where they were, where one of the flowers were. You see it uncover a skeletal corpse.
Like where we are?
Yes, up on top of the cliff. The vines essentially shrink back underneath the bush that they're wrapped around, and they go back underneath and down to the ground, and it uncovers a skeletal corpse.
Ugh.
As soon as Smoot would see any of this, he would shout towards Mest, "Mest, get back! It looks dangerous!"
Kelsey just shrieks. You guys hear that up top, which unsettles everyone for the most part.
Oh, gosh.
Mr. Mest! Kelsey pulls out the dagger that she had from her pack, and she runs up, and she is going to swipe at the vines that are entangling Mest, trying not to hit him as best as she can. She manages to cut a few, but she cannot release them from you. You are getting an aid another action against that, so it'll be a +2 for you next.
How high did you say the cliff was?
12 feet.
You can fall 10 feet without taking fall damage.
You could also
Are
use
there
reflexes.
rules for falling on an enemy to strike them?
No,
Like jumping down and thrusting a spear into something from above?
not that I'm aware of.
Dang it.
That doesn't mean you can't try. Doesn't mean you won't die.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that
by the
falling into
way,
a massive carnivorous plant won't kill
You
you.
guys are all considered flat-footed right now, by the way, because this would be a surprise attack
I
against
can't
you.
be.
You can't be flat-footed?
Correct. I have, that's the only thing I got at level 2.
Is that awareness?
No, it's uncanny dodge. It says I cannot be considered flat-footed.
Mest, the vines take you and they start to constrict around you. What is your CMD for your character?
Terrible. 9?
So it does succeed on continuing to grapple you. It did pass that. So it starts to constrict around you. You take...
Like how much constrict?
It's wrapped up around you. It's basically grappling you overall.
Okay, so it's wrapping around me now.
Yes, like a snake would.
So is he still just counted as entangled? Or is there another effect called constrict?
The constrict is the special attack. Entangle is also its special attack. It's entangled him, which is the grapple. So he is being constricted, which is the attack.
Okay, so it's just squeezing him to do damage.
You take 4 damage.
Hell.
It's like a third of your health.
Yeah, just about. Well, no, a fourth.
This is why I need to get throwing spears.
The strange thing is that the plants around you guys seem to start to shake and contort in ways that don't seem very normal for these kind of plants. The tree this shrubbery that Kelsey is right by reaches out and it thrashes at her and tries to entangle her.
Is she too nimble?
Not today. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, the plants are stretching out and wrapping themselves around her feet and causing her to become entangled.
Now, rules is written I can do this. I can run up to Alfred and use the reposition combat maneuver against his CMD using my CMB to move him 5 feet away from the creature.
He's grappled.
I would say apply logic here. No way, Jose.
Can I move both of them then is the question.
If you can't move one, you can't move the other.
I was just going to attempt to pull Alfred out of the grapple.
You can aid another on that. You cannot, I think.
Okay, then I would just attack the creature because aid another is useless.
Isn't a successful aid another only like +2 to your
Correct.
aids
It would
roll?
be a +2 to his anti-grapple. So what I would recommend doing is, because in order to escape a grapple, you roll CMB versus their CMD. You can alternatively roll an escape artist check, which would use your dexterity instead, but your dexterity is at negative, so I don't know if that helps.
My dexterity is also at a -1 right now. So,
Yeah, I would just then run up and attempt to attack the creature that is grappling Mest. And I would yell, Amali! Smoot is going into a barbarian rage as he's running up, because it's free, and why not? And I'm angry because it has both my Mest and my Kelsey, and it was my job to make sure that they didn't get left behind. My words exactly.
I knew I should have stayed down there.
I'm glad I'm up here.
It is going to be a 21 to hit.
Okay. You're swiping at the vine.
Yes.
It hits.
There goes diplomacy.
You want to talk to the plants?
If I could, who wouldn't want a magical plant friend that smells like corpse?
I think they want to eat us.
well, maybe we'll feed them some Touda.
From Redguard.
6 damage.
So you take the army knife and you ram it in or you slash?
I would probably try to slash to cut away the vines.
Okay, like machete.
Yeah, like machete.
Machete. So you try to machete this thing and you cut off one small strand of vine, which seems to loosen up around Alfred a little. Next up is Finavir and Amali.
I stand up and get my bow out because I think that's all my combat maneuvers are allowed.
I'll let you move more than just standing up if you want.
I don't know how 5-footy these squares actually are. It would be nice to be able to position.
Wait. Does the creature have its back against the cliff? Is it like half embedded into the cliff?
It has pulled away from the cliff. It's on the ground now.
Is there room to be between it and the cliff?
So there is a bush that is giving it concealment. So the bush is like an overhang, and there's part of a cliff there. You can see the bush is like arched through.
Oh, that's the corpse flower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be way less optimal then. I would never do that.
It's going to still have concealment from the bush, unfortunately, no matter where you go.
Well, I can't attack this turn anyway.
It is Amali's turn. Amali actually is just going to jump from the top onto the ground and roll. He's going to do an acrobatics to help lessen that. He is sexy. Okay, he does this really nice barrel roll from the top. He just like does a somersault, lands on his feet kind of thing. He looks at the lineup of people. He sees that Smoot is currently assisting Alfred, and then he notices Kelsey over, who is much closer to him, and he goes to her.
So he's about 10 feet back from Kelsey. He was able to jump off the cliff from where he was and run over.
Yeah, because that was a 12-foot drop, which was part of the movement.
All right, everyone, stay calm. This is like another training exercise. Except this time you have a real enemy.
Amali, just get Kelsey out. I'll get messed.
I mean, that is the plan.
Kelsey just says, "Don't worry about me. Just help Mr. Mest." Alfred, it is your turn.
Yeah, it's just I'm also at a -2 for making attacks via grapple.
Is drinking a potion a standard action?
It would proc an attack of opportunity. Grappling is a really debilitating thing. The only thing you can really do when grappled is get it out of a grapple.
How do you get out of grapples?
The only way is rolling a CMB against their CMD.
Is that considered a maneuver check?
Correct.
Yes.
It's a combat maneuver check.
I'm also at negatives for that. Wow, that's...
Grappled is a dumb condition.
You can roll an escape artist.
You can.
You can roll escape artist. The DC is a little bit higher, but you can do that.
-2 to all attack rolls and maneuver checks except those made to escape the grapple.
So you're
There.
good.
Yeah.
So yeah, your only two options are act normally, you only get one standard action, or to break out of the grapple, as you can see by this flowchart, defender options.
4.
Yeah, no, you are continuing to be...
I believe, if I am not mistaken, that grappling someone, though, puts them under the grappled condition as well.
Yes, they're both under grappled.
So that means they're easier to hit. So if we can just kill them to get them off of you.
I eat my way out of the plant.
You could. Just eat the plant. Little did you know I'm a vegetarian. This is what I'll eat you for breakfast.
Little did you know, I'm poisonous.
Alan Taylor, it is your turn.
I am going to move to the other side of this creature.
So that's the edge of the cliff still.
I'm going to move there and jump down from the cliff as part of my move action.
Okay.
Roll an acrobatics to not take damage from the 2 feet beyond 10. That's 13 because I don't have ranks in acrobatics right now.
You're fine. You don't take any damage. You stumble a little bit, though, when you land on the balls of your feet, and it sends a little shock up your body.
Grit your teeth kind of fall.
Yep, a grit your teeth kind of fall.
And then I will stab it. I will stab it right in the back, real hard, with my spear.
Into a creature with no discernible
I will
features.
stab it in the creature, and I'm going to stab it real hard.
I'm going to stab you in the place.
25 to hit.
Okay, so it does hit. Roll a D100 for me.
70.
70? Okay, you do hit. It succeeds.
From where he's attacking, he's still out of concealment?
It's because the bush.
The bush-
Rules is written, the bush is in a square. Therefore, anything in that square does take partial concealment, regardless of elevation.
So like the top of it is basically covered. Think of it like that.
Wow, rules are really dumb.
Well, this is the way that I imagine it. This is how it is in my head. The bush isn't just up top; it wraps around, almost like a shoulder shawl.
The bush has runners running down like a raspberry bush. A raspberry bush has thick leafy vines, right? And it has runners that it grows out that sprout down and go find new ground. So it just has a bunch of runners going down the face of the cliff.
So you do hit. Please roll your damage for me.
That is 8.
Nice job.
Stab.
So you take your spear and you manage to maneuver your way around some of the brush, and you do a quick jab at it, and you actually manage to hit what feels like part of the main source of the plant, and you pull it back out, and you see a little bit of green spurt out from behind, from its air quote back. The lion-looking plant with the flower face turns, and almost as if it's being directed by this other plant, it's actually looks like it has this vine attached to it as well, moves towards you directly in front, as if to block you from attacking the body again, and it is going to attack you. So what this thing does, Andrew, it lunges at Alan. What is your AC again?
My AC is 18.
It lunges at you, and you feel these, what you would think were soft petals, actually bite down into you like razor sharp daggers into your body. And you can feel them piercing through your flesh. And you take 4 damage as you feel not just its teeth, but also this strange tongue-like thing latches on to you, and it pierces through your skin.
Does it like stay latched, or is it just the one bite?
It's just the one bite. It's like a little quick prick, like a rose.
Ow. Freaking grass type Mawile just bit me.
And next up, the other one is going to use its tongue and attack Smoot.
Okay. And this is attacking me, not Mest. That's his primary concern.
That's because you're doing damage.
Yeah, Mess never hit it with a dagger.
It's got to protect itself. What is your AC?
My AC currently is a 13. So are the flower lines not the ones grappling Mest? Can I see that?
The flower lines are not grappling Mest. There appears to be a vine, however, that is coming from the main body of this other creature that is extended and almost implanted into these lion plants. It hits. You feel a very sharp pain suddenly prick you in the side, and you take 5 damage. Finavir's just like, I'm glad I'm up here.
I imagine 5 damage is like a movie stab.
Yeah.
That hurts. As a matter of fact, I am glad I'm up here and not actively being threatened.
Yeah. It's Kelsey's turn. She is going to try and get out of the entanglement. It just makes her move at half speed to get out, which she can do relatively easily. So Kelsey is actually going to withdraw back
Where? How far?
behind Amali.
Okay, so she backs up about 20 feet.
Yes.
All right, so Kelsey withdraws going 20 feet.
Hey there, Amali. I'm just going to stay right here for now.
Does she, like, grab his body, like, hugs around it?
For the smut, yes.
For the smut.
For the smut. Okay.
Just for the smut and nothing else.
I don't know that we have smut writers for our content.
Oh, Esther will be.
Well, Kelsey seems to just be very focused on what's going on in the combat, and she's staying back. But you guys, next, that's her turn. Next up is the creature's turn. It is going to continue to try to grapple Alfred. So it's going to make that check against you, Alfred.
Do you have to roll to maintain
Correct.
grapple every turn?
But you're at a +5.
Gotcha.
It successfully maintains the grapple. It is going to constrict against Alfred again. You take 4 more damage.
So that it's either rolling consistently or
Or it just does 4 damage.
yeah, that's what I'm. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or that's the cap.
It might just do like its strength.
If it does
+2.
a d4 damage, the odds of it getting consistent damage are not that bad.
It's going to use its free action and use Entangle again, and it actually causes the vines from the plant to come out and create difficult terrain for Alan. You are now entangled. Next up is Charles Smoot.
So you said we can see the vine that is going from the large creature to Mest?
Yes, it has wrapped more vines around as it continues to grapple and succeed on its grapples, which is why
I'm going
it's
to do a
getting
called
bonuses.
shot in order to attack specifically that vine that is grabbing him.
So that would be considered part of its arms. So you're at a -2 for that hit.
Sure. 22 then, so it'll be 20 after you subtract the 2.
I'm glad that my life in combat is not so difficult.
Okay, please roll damage for that called shot.
8 damage.
In a seemingly devastating blow, Smoot takes his dagger and he just uses all of his strength and swipes at some of the vines. You see that the vines split apart and you see the almost, not sinew, but what do plants have? Cellulose?
Fibrous, viney
The fibrous,
material.
yes, the fibrous bits. The fibery bits start to splay apart and spread as if they're being stretched and they're trying to hold on for dear life until they do snap back. The called shot did go through. What it does is for 1d4 rounds, any attack rolls, ability checks, or skill checks made using the wounded arm takes a -2 penalty.
Okay, so that would affect the grapple.
Awesome.
You see the arms or the vines that it lost are now flailing as they try to re-bolster themselves and regain the vigor that they had. Smoot, that is the end of your turn. Next up, it is Finavir Avir.
All right. So Finn will go up to the edge. He'll draw back his bow and launch it at the top, at the edge of the cliff.
Okay.
You want me to roll the percentile, or do you want to?
Yes, please roll the percentile die.
It was a 67 on the percentile. Do you add your dex to hit on ranged attacks?
Yes.
I know it says for a longbow you can.
No, you
use-
do.
You
No,
do.
no, you add your dex to hit.
You do add your dex to
DAB
hit.
plus dex.
It's a 12.
The arrow flies through the bush, but it misses, and it actually lands beyond the creature, almost passing through the arms that are flailing about, and just misses them completely.
Woof. Gotta get back into practice.
That's what the training was for.
You could hear that.
So next up, it is Amali's turn. He is going to move up, and he is going to punch down at the lion creature.
That's certainly an action.
That is an action he can take.
Running up and
let's-
punching flower lions in the face.
That sounds like something Chuck Norris would do.
Amali is our Chuck Norris. That's why they're smart.
All right, so Amali essentially takes his fist and he reams it down on the creature's head, and you see an indentation form, and it rears back a little bit, it hisses, and it just looks like it's not feeling too good after that hit. Next up is Alfred.
Is that a negative?
Attempting to escape. Negative crit.
Well, you just don't break free of the grapple. You are stuck
Yeah, I
there.
know. It's like, hold on, I gotta wait. No, I made it worse.
More vines come up and wrap around you.
Slips and falls
As,
into more
like,
vines.
Yeah.
I'm upside down somehow now.
Yeah, it picks you up and you're upside down, being held by a foot and all this other stuff, and it starts to wrap more around you.
You've gotten your arms free from the vines that were holding them, and in your premature jubilation, you get them more tangled in more vines.
All right, Alan Taylor, it is your turn.
I will take a 5-foot step
All right.
and make a power attack
Okay.
on the main one.
Okay.
I am receiving a flanking bonus from Quentin, which means that negates the entanglement attack negative, which means I'm at a total -1. So I will make my attack roll, and it no longer has concealment from the bush from where I'm standing, so at least to my knowledge, so I should have an open shot.
Yes. From your character's perspective, it looks like you have an open shot now.
And that is 23 to hit.
It hits.
So that is 7 damage.
Okay. You take your spear again and you aim true and you hit the main body of this creature again, and you see another spurt of blood come out the back, this greenish colored ooze that just seeps down the handle of your spear.
Ugh.
The lion flower, the dandelion, we'll call it a dandelion for now because that's not what it actually is, but we'll call it a dandelion. This dandelion that smells like death is going to attack you again with its tongue.
Did it breach 18?
So this is what happens. It crit.
Nice.
Alan, it lunges at you again. Its tongue hits into the side of your body. You take 10 piercing damage from it in your side.
Ow.
That's also the small creature.
Yeah, not the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the big one has done surprisingly less damage.
It has taken... How much damage have y'all done to it?
I personally have done 14 to the main creature.
And I've done 8 and 7 is 13. No, 8 and 7 is 15. So we've done 29.
So, Alan, I feel like there should be a bigger owl from that, because that was a big chunk of your health right there.
Ah!
Ooh, I like that. Hit punch, kick. Okay.
I don't think it punched or kicked him. I think
No,
it
it
really
bit
bit him. Yeah. Bit him really bad.
The other one who Amali punched in the head turns to face him. It does not like him. You see these little flower petals are now wilting back. It looks very upset, and it actually almost seems to turn a darker, deeper red color. You see the creature rear back its head, almost as if it's taking a deep breath, and then it breathes this sweeping dust of spores against Amali.
Is there an area that remains in?
It's a 10-foot cone. Amali, not expecting these spores to hit him in the face, is actually breathing normally, and when he does, you see him almost freeze in position, as if he can't move,
Oh, gosh.
for 3 rounds.
Amali!
Anyway, that is that creature's turn. Kelsey's turn. Kelsey just shouts, "Keep hitting it, Alan. You're getting to it. That seems to be its weak spot." You are at a +3 to hit. All right, next up, the plant is going to use the entangle maneuver. So it is going to reach out the vines and cause them to entangle Smoot.
Cool.
And it is going to try to continue the grapple on Mest.
Wouldn't it technically have to do that first?
It's
at
a
the start
free
of its
action.
turn.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's considered a free action for the creature. It can take it at any point in its turn.
If it wants to do anything following up the grapple, like attack you, it has to first confirm the grapple, though.
It has to confirm the grapple first. So it does confirm the grapple. It is going to do its damage. 3.
Hey, real quick, confirming, is rubbing alcohol flammable?
Yes.
Very.
Oh, that's fun.
That's why they give you warnings.
Because I have that in matches.
Charles Smoot, it is your turn.
Do you have anything to catch things on fire?
Risinger.
He
What is
probably
your
has
spell?
sparks.
I have Spark.
Is that a ranged attack?
Yes.
Would it be at a negative for concealment?
Never mind, it wouldn't work. It only works on unintended object.
Would I be able to throw a bottle of, or drop a bottle of rubbing alcohol and light it on fire?
You'd have to pull it out of your inventory. That's a move action. And then in order to light it, you have to have the materials ready to light it. That is also a move action, which is fair. You can drop it as a free action, but it's fair that you have to use 2 standard actions to pull out the lighter and pull out the other stuff because you have to search through your bag.
If you can manage to get the bottle of alcohol to land at my feet, I have a lighter.
Wait, you guys have a lighter?
Yeah,
I have a lighter.
yeah, he's mentioned it multiple times, even this episode.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, it was one of the very few modern items we were able to loot.
Yeah. It took me 8 years to learn this piece. Lick.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, alcohol, or so rubbing alcohol does evaporate. So I believe it was described that this is like a Zippo, like a flip open Zippo, which would mean that we can use rubbing alcohol as crude, not long lasting fuel for this thing.
Well, I mean, I only have so much that I scavenged from the medical cabinet back at the base.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it should be hurting. Then I would just go and attack the main plant. 13 to hit.
You take the dagger and you attempt to swipe at some more of the vines, but you falter a little bit as you feel the pain in your side and you hesitate and you miss the chance and you definitely missed that one. Are you going to stay in that position?
I'm not leaving here without Alfred.
Next up is Finavir.
Can you shoot the little one next to me?
I am going to jump down the cliff right next to Alan.
Okay, roll acrobatics.
12.
So you jump off the cliff. You essentially surpass the DC for landing in this spot. It's not too high. You land again, similar to what Alan had experienced. It's a little shock because you're landing on a harder ground because there's actually stone here versus the softer grass nearby. And it sends a little shock up your body, which shudders you a little.
Yeah, it's not something I would want to do. I probably would never do that, even the small thing, if it wasn't important.
All right.
I'll drop the bow as a free action.
Okay.
And I'll grab some of the wool out of my bandolier, and I will cast Daze at the creature in front of me.
Okay, what's the DC for that? It also gets an attack of opportunity against you because you're right in its range.
Fair.
Okay, so do the concentration for me.
That's plus my level, plus my charisma modifier, correct?
I believe so.
10.
It passes. You just have to get a 10 to concentrate. So the spell goes through, it makes an attack at you, and you feel it as it pierces against your skin. The tongue just shoots out.
Whoa, it passed my AC? Ouch.
I rolled a 17.
What is your AC?
19. Oh, you rolled a 17. Okay,
I rolled a 17.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It surpassed that. You take 4 damage. So what was the DC I have to pass, or he has to pass to not be dazed?
13.
How many rounds?
1.
Okay. It is dazed for 1 round.
What exactly does dazed do?
You cannot act normally. You cannot take any actions, but have no penalty to AC. So it is basically stunned would be, I guess, another way to say it. It's stunned for this round. Actually, no, stunned is a whole other thing. It's not stunned. It's dazed. It's specifically dazed for 1 round. Okay, so that is number 2. So the number 2's turn will be skipped. Finavir, your turn passes, but as you pull out the wool, you see it disappear in your hands as you release it as part of the way to cast the spell, and it flutters in the air towards it, and it lands on its face and then dissipates in like this smoke of sparkles, and you see this effect on this creature, and it just looks surprised and is just looking around but is not moving or doing anything else. Amali does not do anything. His turn passes. It is Alfred's turn now.
Please don't die.
Can you drink a potion?
It requires 2 hands to get in his bag.
Yeah, 1 hand. It's all you need.
1 hand.
I mean, it still works an attack of opportunity. So, I mean, it's up to him if he wants to drink a potion. I suggest he threw a bomb.
Can a creature that is grappling you make an attack of opportunity?
Absolutely.
It can continue to grapple, but it won't.
No, it can squeeze. It can absolutely attack with a natural attack.
That's silly.
I have to keep trying to escape, so
I mean, you could either escape. I mean,
Well, he rolled it.
5.
You had stellar rolls, and now you're being repaid with just bum rolls.
It is Alan's turn.
I'm going to use power attack. I'm just going to skip the math and go straight to the roll because all of my negatives are being negated. It's a flat roll. So I will roll for my power attack, which is an 18.
It hits. Please roll your damage.
8.
You take your spear and you manage to ram it one last time into the back of this creature. You hear it shriek, and this blood just starts pouring down the back of it onto your spear, down onto your hands, and you can feel your hands getting a little slippery on your weapon. But the vines loosen around Alfred, and you see it drop from behind one of the lion creatures and then drop from the other one in a massive thud on the ground. And it's just a bunch of vines and a pool of green blood pouring out.
I'm gonna make evil syrup out of your weird goo.
That's fun.
What?
I said that in Smoot voice. Why did I say that in Smoot voice?
You were so inspired.
Inspired by the grump.
The creature that was released from the grasp of the vines looks at you, but it's dazed and it doesn't move. I had to remember that one was the dazed one. Yeah. As the vines loosen around Alfred, you can see again the vine on the back of this creature falls. This is from your guys' perspective. The creature shakes its head as if it's a little confused about what's going on, but it sees you guys with your weapons drawn towards it, and it lunges at Smoot.
Wait, which creature?
The one that spewed at Amali, which is also directly beside me.
Wait, those are like, oh.
Yes, they're individual creatures.
I was under the impression that those were little mini-me's being controlled.
They are, but they're independent. It was overriding their minds. It was mind controlling them. Now they're free of the mind control, but it sees our weapons and it's still attacking us.
All right, so Smoot is going to attack you. It hits.
I'm kind of egging it on. Come on, hit me, hit me.
Yeah, it definitely hits you.
Good.
It lunges and it pierces your leg, dealing 7 damage.
And the other one's dazed this round, right? Awesome.
Its turn is already passed, so because they go one after the other. All right. So next up is Kelsey's turn again. She runs up to Alfred. She places a hand on Alfred's back, and Alfred, she asks you, "Are you okay?"
Is he okay? The answer's no.
She asks you, "Are you okay?" But for some reason, you start to feel like everything is okay. You gain a +1 bonus on saving throws.
Okay.
It is Smoot's turn.
Free actions do not interrupt a full round action, correct?
Yes.
I use a free action to take a 5-foot step, so I gain a +2 flanking bonus from Amali on the creature. I'm then going to make a called shot to stab the dandelion directly through the skull, plunging my dagger into its head.
Okay, please roll to hit.
Do they have skulls? I thought they were like...
They have heads.
If it has a mane, there's a bullseye in the center.
That's what I'm saying. 19 to hit.
Okay, it hits.
Hot dang.
That is going to deal 7 damage to the creature, and if it is not dead, it is sickened for 2 rounds.
If it's half its health, then it's a debilitating blow, right?
I have no idea about that. I just knew that a headshot makes it sickened for a D4 rounds. But I did do 7 damage to it. And it should be sickened for a D4 rounds.
Big boy hits with little knife.
Little tiny knife. Gonna want to get a bigger sword.
Okay.
I missed the club.
You take the dagger and you jam it down into this creature's head, and you feel the gooey blood start to gush out of the top of it and drip down to the ground. You pull back the dagger, but you see that it is still standing, although it does appear to be sickened.
Oh, Quentin, you're going to make the corpse plant barf.
Ooh. Takes a -2 to attack rolls and basically everything else.
You're going to get digestive juices all spit up on your pants.
Nah, it's facing Amali. I'm fine.
Okay. Next turn, it is Finavir Avir.
Alrighty. I'm going to take out my dagger and plunge directly at the creature in front of me.
All right. So you pull out your dagger.
It's a 7 to hit.
You take out your dagger, but your inexperience wielding a melee weapon shows as you try to swipe. Swipe is like my favorite word with daggers, apparently. Stab at the creature or strike the creature. But again, your inexperience shows, and you are a bit faulty with your weapon, and you are short. All right. That's your turn?
Yep.
Amali is still paralyzed for 1 round. This is his last round, so he will be undone next round. Alfred Kenneth Mest, it is now your turn.
Run. Run, you fool.
Get revenge. Sweet revenge. I can't. The thing that attacked me isn't alive anymore.
Well, the thing it was controlling, which also kind of made your life hell, is still alive.
That thing didn't do anything to me, technically.
Yeah, proxy revenge.
Proxy revenge. Kill its compatriot.
It could still be cathartic.
No.
Or he could have a
Revenge
modicum
will
of...
come afterward. I can assure that much.
Could have a modicum of self-preservation and run 5-foot step and go.
I'm going to take a 5-foot step back away. So, yeah, right there. And then I'm going to drink one of my health potions.
That's fine by me.
Just so we're clear, I'm drinking one of the ones that came at level 1.
Okay.
So a D8.
Yep.
5 plus 1, 6.
Woo, you have 11 health. That's most of your health.
No, I do not have 11 health. I have 8. I was at 2.
Oh, I missed that. You got squeezed for 3 damage?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Alan Taylor, it is your turn.
I'm going to do what I've been doing, and I'm going to stab it real good.
Okay. Roll to hit, please.
12.
You take your spear and you attempt to hit this creature, the lion that is in front of you, and you jam down at the ground towards it, but it sidesteps it.
Okay. I am going to make a 5-foot step to right there, just to my side.
The creature that you swiped at turns and faces Finavir, who is now right next to it, or is still actually facing that one, and it is going to try to hit Finavir again. So it lunges at you again with its tongue jutting out really quickly as if to pierce at you. It almost looks like a spear of its own as it swipes past you and stabs the ground next to you. It was very close. So the creature that is between Smoot and Amali shakes its head, and you see this face where its eyes, like, it just looks terrified on its own, and it is going to withdraw from the combat.
Where does it go?
It does not provoke an attack of opportunity that way.
Whose turn is next?
Off of the first square it starts in.
Yes.
Yes. It has to travel around a bunch of different
Amali is still dazed, so it's going this way towards me. So it is going to run right next to where Alan is.
I'm currently threatening it.
So if but it's withdrawing.
It's withdrawing.
Oh, no.
So what square would it move into?
The square
Here?
that it's currently in, can't be used for attack of opportunity. Yeah. It has to move into another square and then move again.
So it's okay. Is it only moving the 15 feet? No. Oh, I want to stab it.
It's trying to leave.
I want to stab it when it leaves that other space.
Well,
one's out of your range.
It's running.
The one behind Amali? No.
It's exiting the map. It's out of the combat.
He's still
You could pursue it, I guess, but it's out of the combat
I take
right
a 5-foot step and I charge.
Because
it's not your turn.
His turn is next, isn't it?
It's Kelsey's turn.
Okay, Kelsey's then mine.
You're skipping turns.
So Kelsey may go. Wait, your turn. Okay. Kelsey may. Well, she said Kelsey may go.
Kelsey walks over to Amali, who is still kind of standing there, but he seems to be loosening up.
Don't breathe that in. Where'd it go?
So,
You would turn and just see Smoot screaming, "Ah!" running after it.
So yes, now you may take your turn.
So yeah, would it be more than 80 feet away?
It gets to move double its normal speed.
Oh, it withdraws only your normal move speed?
As far as I could tell, it looked
I thought you could withdraw twice your normal move speed.
It's double your normal
move speed.
It's moving its top speed to get out
When you
there.
withdraw, you can move up to double your normal speed.
So it is about 80 feet away.
Oh, perfect. So I can I can charge, catch up with it, and then as the last action of a charge attack, make a melee attack with my dagger.
Sure, you're off map.
21 to hit.
It hits.
Dealing 7 damage.
So since he is off screen, you also get an off screen description about what's going on. You guys, as you're back on the battlefield, you hear just as Smoot runs by, he disappears over a little bit of a hill that he goes down chasing after this thing. You hear a shrieking sound, and then it stops, and it's silent. Finavir, it is your turn.
Seeing the other one goes to flee, I am going to make a 5-foot step towards Taylor away from the cliff.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'm going to try to intimidate the creature.
All right.
Do I just roll intimidate? I'm trying to spook it, get it to run away.
Yes,
disengage.
you would just, if you're trying to intimidate it, that's a free action. You can roll to intimidate.
9.
What do you do to intimidate it?
I raise my dagger up, my hands up high, I try to look big and go, ah! And I scream at it.
It doesn't seem to understand. It doesn't acknowledge it.
Some creatures are so unintelligent you cannot intimidate them. Quite literally by rules.
And some creatures are also unintelligent to that same with that same level of stat, but ruled in such a way that they are terrified of everything.
Well, if that was a free action, and I don't think that that's going to work, then I guess I would attack it.
So you went boogaboo and it didn't work.
5 to hit.
You miss. Again, your inexperience with the dagger shows through. And despite the fact that you tried to spook it, it hisses at you and it startles you a little bit. And you pull back, again, short of hitting the thing. Okay, so it's Amali's turn. Amali is going to approach, walking over the dead corpse of these vines. Again, you see a massive amount of just force come from his fist as he punches directly into this creature's body, and you see an indentation on the spot where he hits. It looks like it's in pain. Alfred Kenneth Mest, it is your turn.
I guess I'll just walk up next to Amali and try to stab it with the knife.
Okay, that's fine. Roll to hit.
3.
You're feeling a little bit woozy after being squeezed. Your muscles ache. And honestly, holding the dagger is a little tiring, but you're still going to try to strike the creature. But you falter and you feel yourself give out a little bit and you're unable to complete the action. Yeah. Alan Taylor, it is your turn.
Are we still under entanglement, or did that go away when the creature died?
When the creature died.
It went away. The creature itself, though, has become difficult terrain.
Okay.
Yeah,
just,
you're standing on
just
top of
confirming that I'm no longer at the entanglement minus to attack. So I will power attack stab it.
Okay, please roll to hit.
12.
With a mighty thrust, you lunge at the creature with your own spear. But it, knowing your attack pattern has been very similar throughout the entire combat, leaps to the side of it.
Gasp. Egad. Darn bush, die!
The creature sneers at all of you, and essentially what it does is it uses a chance to withdraw. It'll provoke an attack of only one attack of opportunity.
Was it running off to the left?
No, it is going to climb.
Up the cliff.
It's going to climb up the cliff through the bush.
Can you climb as withdraw?
Half base speed. Oh. So, I mean, since you're doubling your base speed, you'd be able to go full 30 feet if you need to.
If it was withdrawing, Finn would not attack it because he wants everyone to be safe more than he wants anything to die.
So it withdraws and it climbs up without much difficulty.
Am I allowed to throw a bomb at it?
No, because that's not attacks of opportunity must be made with melee weapons unless
Yes.
you have feats for otherwise.
It's going to be out of your range by the time its action finishes.
So it climbs up, almost snaking up through the bush, and you hear it just kind of shake. But that is the end of its turn, and it is moving as fast away as it can. Does anyone pursue?
I will climb the cliff.
Oh, heck no.
I don't think we can catch up to it.
I'm going to throw the spear.
I will take a second to advise. It's not worth it. It's leaving. And I'll just, I guess what I would be doing is just be cautious for a moment. So I'm taking a total defense action, technically.
Yeah. And if you don't want him to pursue it, you can always get in his way. That's about your only other option.
I don't want to. It's leaving. I'm happy about that.
Amali.
Well, you can try to stop him from chasing after it.
I'm not about that either.
Okay.
Amali sees Alan rearing up and ready to go, and he walks over and he puts a hand on your shoulder, and he just says,
Leave it. It's not worth the pursuit. That's not what we're here for.
But my gun.
What?
Nothing.
Remember what we're here for. We have to stay safe.
You're right.
So that is the end of combat, and each of you gets 800 experience.
Well, looks like we're going to have to take some extra time and rest up.
He looks over at Alfred and then everyone else who had taken some damage and has wounds on their body.
Sound off if you're not dead.
I'm not dead.
I'm fine.
Can I be counted as dead?
Not if you're breathing.
I have taken a few hits.
10-4.
Namely, Lift's shirt. I got bit.
Oh, we need to take care of these. Oh, we should probably clean all these wounds.
I lift mine. It's like, look, we match. Yours looks a little, more profound, though. All right.
Does it look like a rose thorn shark bite?
Basically. All right. So Amali just says,
All right, then. We should probably just, not that I really wanted to, just take the time. Like I said, let's go eat lunch, guys. Let's go. It's lunchtime, I guess.
Lunch sounds good about now.
We'll tend to those wounds.
Should we just make camp here for the evening?
Make camp? We haven't even traveled that far.
We've been going at it for 4 hours. We all have wounds to heal.
Yeah, we'll take a stop and then we'll get going. we shouldn't linger here. We should.
Yeah, I agree with Finavir.
The least amount of time spent in the light wood, the better.
Mest, how much of that magic soup you got?
Finavir, it's the Mildwood that we're worried about. We're in the Mildwood right now. The Lightwood is the better place.
Oh, sorry. My injury is making me delirious.
I know. It's okay. Let's take this time to recoup. Alfred, if you need to sit down and make anything, I would do it now. But I want to head back out. We need to get further into the forest. We have to get to the river soon. Otherwise, this whole trip is wasted if we get back too late.
I'm agreeing with Amali. Depending upon how much of that secret sauce that Mest has got, those of us with the most critical injuries can remedy ourselves enough to move, and then we'll take a nice, long, restorative rest in the evening.
All right. I'll try to treat the worst injuries, and depending on how I'm feeling, we'll see how I do.
How much damage did you take, Quentin?
I only ended up taking 8 points of actual damage.
I took 4 points of damage. Or sorry, not 4, 14.
Okay.
I have 4 HP.
I'm going to tend to you first.
How much magic soup do you have?
Right now?
Yeah, how many potions do you have made?
Enough.
How much is enough?
3.
Okay.
Magic soup should be the last thing that we use, if possible.
How many can you make in a day? 2?
I think I can do extracts. I can do 4.
Yeah, but we don't have the
maybe
time.
5. Extracts I can do in a minute.
Okay. If we have the materials, while he's taking the time to make the extracts,
He can only make 2 per day.
okay,
No, I can make more than 2 per day.
he's level
can?
2.
Not
Yeah, he's level
potions.
2.
No. You only have a set number of level 1 spell slots. When you craft a potion, it consumes the spell slot.
Oh.
So if you have 2 level 1 extracts, making a potion consumes that extract slot. So right now, as far as I'm aware, you can only make 2 level 1 extracts per day, which means also 2 level 1 potions. Smoot would just drop the carcass of this dandelion, as we're calling it for now, on the ground and rest up against it, literally leaning up against its corpse.
So we'll do looting next time as well?
Yes, looting will happen next time.
I can do 2 extracts per day base off of just being alchemist.
Yes.
And then I also add my intelligence
That's
modifier
known
to how many
extracts.
I can do.
Yeah.
Amali essentially tells you guys,
All right, guys, just let's take a break for about 2 hours, and then we'll head back out.
so he leads you guys back up on top of the hill that you had to jump down from, and you set up a small area to eat and rest and prepare yourselves for the coming future. But before you head back out, Amali stops you all and says,
I really hope this has taught you what exactly you're up against in this forest. I told you, it's not going to be easy.
and that is where we're going to end off this episode of the Gate Chronicles. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. So if you enjoyed it, please make sure that you follow us on our social medias, which is on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, @RollFound. And you can also join us on our Discord. Link is in the description of this episode. And in addition to that, guys, make sure you subscribe and leave us a review if you're enjoying it, because that helps us know what you like and what you don't like, and that way we can improve. Always improving. That's our motto. Maybe not. I don't know if that's our motto. Okay, we'll forget. Scrap that motto.
Not our motto, but a good saying.
Scrap that motto. Okay. All right. And if you guys are still enjoying the show and you want to support us in other ways, please consider going to our Patreon. Link is in the description as well. Also, you can go to our website and purchase merchandise, or merchandise, which involves hats, t-shirts, stickers, etc. All right, guys. So we will see you next week on the Gate Chronicles. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.